after me.
Yo, Arthur, you can play that next clip for me?
I grew up in a 3-parent household. My mom, my father, and my grandmother. I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
A woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a that, no, baby, like, but you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
What's your thoughts on this before we dissect into this real quick?
Okay, when I say I'm a bad bitch, I'm only talking about my physical appearance. Like, first of all, I actually think it's funny because it's a term that I feel like Black men have coined through music, through media and everything. Like, she a bad bitch, blah, 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 whatever. And women like run with it, right? I do think like part of being a woman is maintaining a household. If we catering, it got to be both ways. Like,
they gonna say you sexist. Like the liberals gonna say you sexist right now.
I don't care what they say. Like,
fuck y'all
and
liberals.
that's cool, Like,
I'm a liberal.
I
got
do
lots of
understand what he's saying when he's like he grew up in a 3-parent household and this is what he saw. Because I do feel like to learn how to be a woman, you learn from your mother, you learn from the other women that have grown you or brought you up. You feel me? Yeah. So to me, I do feel like, for example, like, my mom and my dad are not together, yes, but even with the way that she treats her kids, where it's like dinner is always here, or when I go back home and my dad and his, what is she, girlfriend of how many years, whatever,
common law wife.
Yeah, his
common law
significant
wife.
other.
Exactly. She cooks like 3 meals a day for him, and it's like he eats, babe, your food is ready. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm Caribbean, so that's just what I saw growing up, and I don't think a woman should have to shrink herself and be like, I can't be a bad bitch because I'm a good woman or I'm a house, I have a husband. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we are all complex beings and there's a time and place for everything. And so if I want to be a bad bitch with my friends and I want to be a woman to my man, then the two are separate. Like, I get it, but I think his word choice and the way he stated things were just.
But when did he say that you can't be a bad bitch and be a woman though? He never said that.
He never said that.
He said that they just want to be bad bitches, but can you cook?
But can't.
Yeah, I mean, I could do all of it. So
right, so that's so he'd be perfectly fine with you being a bad bitch.
So you could date him. If you listen to Lupe Fiasco, you heard this years ago. He been talking about bad bitch versus like a woman. You know what I mean? So this isn't nothing new for me, honestly. And I know y'all gonna be mad at me, but I'm not mad.
I'm not mad either.
I'm really not fucking mad at it. And I don't understand why people are. It's not even like he said, yo, shut your mouth, never speak. I don't want to hear a peep. Right? And if you talk, you going outside.
Yeah, that would have been the whole
said, like, that would have been a whole different like clip, right? All he said was you need to know when to be quiet. That's a trait we all could benefit from.
Everybody.
In life.
Yeah.
In your friendships. In your work environment, in your relationship.
Yeah.
So the fact that everybody is so upset, and the thing is that the interview goes on, and he does make it does get a little lighter, but they don't show that part. They just show the part where he's like, be quiet and cook for me. Honestly, if you a woman and you don't cook, okay, that's fine, but then just don't date Cam Newton.
And I think
like it's his preference. It's his preference.
Right.
Stop.
So
let's not like he just don't want
define that as the woman you want for you. And not make that the definition for what a woman should be overall, which I think, obviously, if you have common sense, that's implied. But he is speaking very generally in that clip. I really, really reject and dislike the idea of centering a woman's identity around what she can provide for a man in a relationship. That's me because I'm liberal as fuck. So,
he didn't center her identity though. He centered what he thought.
I get that. It's what he wants, but he talks about a woman and like what can she bring to the table for me as a man. And he
said handle everything on her own though. Like that's what he said.
What's wrong with that?
What's the problem with
that? He's
Like,
basically saying you can be a boss.
It's not a problem. I'm saying that that's his preference, which is not where I'm at.
I mean, but every person want to know what they're going to get in a relationship. You get what I'm saying? Just like he's saying he want a woman to cook. That's not saying that he's not willing to cook for her as well. You get what I'm saying?
I
So
didn't say that.
I'm just saying that part.
I didn't say that. Though.
But you said it's a problem with him defining what he wants.
Like
right.
if he said that to me, I'd be like, okay, so we're not a good match, and that's fine. Like you can want that in a woman. I can't provide that for you. Sorry.
So you don't define what you want in a man?
I didn't say that he can't do it. Do you not hear what I'm saying? I didn't
No,
say that he can't do
we
it.
asked you a question. Like,
I'm not saying that he can't do that. I'm saying for me, that's not what I'm looking for. But I'm happy for him that he knows what he's looking for.
I'm asking you, do you not define what you want in a man?
Yes.
You just go on a date and you just like, whatever?
So I mean, yeah, that was how my last relationship went. So I really just went whatever.
Okay.
How did that work?
You still doing that?
I mean, I'm in a 6-year-long relationship now.
Well, damn.
I just got lucky.
And do you define what he should do in a relationship as far as a man?
Like I knew how I wanted to feel. I think that was like the main thing that I put on a pedestal for me. It was like, how do I want to feel in this relationship? How do I want him to make me feel? And that's where that all went from.
Rather than what he can do for you.
Rather than what he could do for me. Like when I met him versus where he's at now, financially, all of those things is vastly different. Like if I was going to judge him off of those things in the beginning, we wouldn't have dated. So I'd have been like, you can't do nothing for me. You know, like you work way too many hours for way too little money. I'm not doing that. But I just wanted to feel a certain type of way, especially dealing with like the trauma I had been through in previous relationships. So it was just off of a feeling. And I think for a lot of men, like it's about a lot of men receive affection like through acts of service, and they also do that for their women. So that's what he's describing here, which is fine. I'm just real bad at that shit. So I feel personally attacked.
But it's not for me.
So, I mean, it sounds a little like, all right, your relationship is successful at this point, right? But I hear a lot of me and me.
It's true.
So, I mean, he doesn't get anything out of it, and he
gets a lot of things out of it.
I mean, it don't sound like it. You just said it's you.
I was just talking about from my side of things. Like, I'm sure there was things he wanted as well that I provide clearly because we're still in a relationship. But I can't speak to all of that. Like,
you could, because you can tell us what you would do for him to keep him happy. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's fair.
I mean, and then you just sitting here and tell us how he gets your needs and how he makes you feel.
He makes me feel good.
Yes. So
I think I do the same thing for him. I'll leave that
we
there.
can only hope.
I'm gonna interject. In May of 2020, I read Way of the Superior Man by, I don't remember the author, but I think it's important to know there are different personality types, for example. And I think, different personality types, and also as women and as men, like I can be a woman and at my core can be masculine energy. And if my man is masculine energy as well, that's not going to work for us, right? Because we're constantly like this.
You know how women love their masculinity for some reason. I don't know.
Now, at my core is feminine energy. And if that's what my man wants, then that's what works for us. You feel me? Like you have to know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So if he wants, I feel like he's asking women to tap into the femininity of like the traditional woman. We brought this up on our podcast. So it's like women want traditional relationships, but they don't want to do traditional things.
Right.
And I think that's a part of what he's saying. And when you're like, this is what works for me and this is what doesn't, again, it's just like, what are you looking for at the core of your relationship? That's really it. Like 2 type A's are probably not going to work. Right. You know, like, can I be with a passive aggressive man? No, because, no, that's just not what works for me. You feel me? But I have friends who are with passive aggressive men because their personalities are so dominant and there's balance in the relationship. Yeah. So I feel that's just what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think women care what men want in women?
I already answered this for y'all.
You think they ask that? Very often,
we don't know.
To be quite honest,
we kind of think we know.
Yeah, we kind of go off what we want and then
really don't
put that onto men instead of asking men exactly what they want.
Yeah, I really don't think y'all care at all.
Well, ask my man, so I don't know what you're talking about. Wait.
No, I'm not even going to lie. I'm guilty of that. I'll ask him and everything, but then sometimes be guilty of not even implementing what he's asking me.
Oh, that happens.
That
happens sometimes.
I haven't cared enough to put forth the effort.
Exactly. You and that have that don't care.
I mean, that's not anymore. We've been together for a minute now, but that was definitely I've been guilty of that for sure. Like asking him even like, I want you to be communicative. I want you to tell me what you need, what you want. And then just
that shit going right out
that shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
No, I be getting offended. And then like after I calm down, I'm like, I'm sorry. I know that was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna get it together.
At least you apologize.
You was just telling me what you need. My fault, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be mature enough, right? Like, not everybody's ready to be in a relationship. But sometimes you can get through those growing pains together and figure it out. But oftentimes it's just you driving one person all the way up to crazy. And
I only ask that question because here's a man who makes his net worth is what, $75 million. You know what I mean? He's what you would call a high value man. He's part of that 10% that 90% of women want. And he's telling you that he's seen his household, his parents who have been married for 40 plus years, he's seen how their marriage worked in success. And this is what he wants for himself. And women are still, like, some women are still pushing back on it. Like,
average
so I'm
women are mad when not
I'm like,
an average man
this is the man that most women want. He's telling y'all how to qualify. And y'all, why should I have to qualify for a man? That's a whole, whatever the case is. He's telling you what he wants in a woman to make her a potential wife. And y'all like, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm my own woman. I'm liberated. I'm this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I didn't see what he said as being offensive. Like, I thought that was his preference. He did, make the distinction because women do look the part, like the bad bitch. Like there's a certain like
aesthetic,
get the BBL, So the BBLs don't come with like attitude management. They don't teach you how to be
emotional maturity.
It don't tell you how to be a good spouse. They don't teach you how to do all of this. So you can look the part, and guys will smash you, and maybe they might trick on you, but.
You're the fantasy.
Yeah, long term, like as far as the long term relationship, you don't have those qualities because you invested all your money into the aesthetic, like you said. Like, so I get where he's coming from, and I don't, if that's his preference, women have preferences all the time in men. Like, and niggas ain't on CNN like, oh, she said a man needs to pay all the bills.
You should have saw The View the other day, honey. Woo!
What happened
They were just going at him. Period.
You smarter than you look, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, man.
So how he's sexist and he's a misogynist and all this other stuff.
He was already complimenting.
I appreciate
you spitting this.
You know what I mean? Also, like, I've heard so many of my female friends talk about like what I need in a man. A man is this, that, and when their man isn't necessarily being the man that they need, they so quick to be like, he's not being a man. But if a man talks about what he believes a woman is,
you a sexist.
We all up in arms.
Misogynist.
Like,
Yes.
he's not a normal guy. So the fact that normal women are offended, I'm sorry. He's not even talking to you. He's not even talking to you. He's not talking.
But even when he said,
so triggered like he was talking to me, and he really.
You seem like you.
Because he's fine. And
I get triggered.
We might want.
I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yo, real talk. You say you was in a relationship for 6 years?
Yeah.
Shout out to your boyfriend. I ain't gonna.
what that mean? Wait.
What you say? Shout out to
What's that mean?
Shout out to her boyfriend first.
Shout out to her boyfriend because she seems very emotional, and it seems like it takes a strong person to handle that. Because I know me, I'm not very patient, so it would be hard for me. So that's why I'm saying shout out to him. He seemed like a very patient man. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, they good for they're perfect for each other. She's great for him. He's great for her.
It sounds like it. It sounds like a match made in heaven. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Damn, that was a quick assessment.
I mean, I try.
That was quick. Any one of us? You got?
I mean, we'll progress into that.
Okay, I'll let that
all right,
come
so get into my next topic. We might actually get through all these. I'm not gonna.
I told you we would. Don't doubt us.
This is the next one.
Time in a long time.
Right. So, it says, is baby mama culture being normalized? Like,
wait, before you get into that, mine was on that high value man. I mean,
that
just
doesn't
get into
cheat. Yeah.
So